Hi there, this is Ray Say on Way with No What If. This will be what if Deku was Reincarnation of Naruto and Sasuke, Part 7. Now, before we continue, I want to change one thing. I basically want to change how Deku dealt with Bakugo. Since I know that Deku has electricity in his ball of energy, and he can make clones. Now, when it comes to Deku's Sharingan, when people ask about it, now there are two reasons why they be asking about Deku's Sharingan. Number one, it's an interesting quirk, and seeing the other stuff that he can do. Just in case if anything goes wrong, they can always stop him. So when it comes to him finding Bakugo, instead of him using his Sharingan, putting him under illusion, instead Deku just makes a very strong clone to fight him. He can just use the clone to just distract Bakugo, and if he ever feels like it, so Deku's plan is to just use lightning-based jutsu on Bakugo until he blacks out. After Uraraka touched the bomb, they declare the winner. Once they get back into the room, All Might asks them who should be the MVP. Momo tell All Might it'll be Deku since the fact of how he distracted Bakugo and dealt with Ida while also being a team player and allowing Uraraka to touch the bomb. Before anyone can say anything, Bakugo comes storming in telling him, what was that? That wasn't even a fight. Deku looking at him saying, you're right, that wasn't a fight, that was a challenge, and you lost. Bakugo will come rushing over to Izuku, telling him, what did you just say to me? Deku look at him and tell him it'll supposed to be a challenge, not a full-blown fight. Bakugo will tell him it'll supposed to be a challenge, huh? And how come you didn't fight me, you damn coward? All Might is about to intervene, but Deku is pissed, basically looking at him and telling him, listen, I already know how your quirk works and how it functions, so I suggest you back up. In less than 5 minutes, I'm going to throw you in a freezer, lock you in there, and throw away the key. Everyone was shocked at how Deku responded to Bakugo. Looking at Bakugo telling him, you're trying to become a hero, but in reality, you're more like a villain, the way you talk, act, and treat others. Before Bakugo can even respond, Deku says, I did some things that I'm not proud of, but that makes me more of a hero than you ever will be. So I suggest you shut your mouth before someone puts you in your place, and one of them will be me, Katsuki. All Might will ask Deku, where are you going? He will look at him and tells him, I'm going to the nurse's office. My hand hurts. He walks off. But Deku could actually heal his own hand by either using the healing jutsu that he learned from Sasuke or to use Naruto's chakra to heal himself. But he's gonna hold it off just so he can go to the nurse. While Deku walking to the nurse office, two people come behind him, telling him that he shouldn't have walked out of class. He turns around and sees that was Ida that said it. He tells them, well, I needed to calm down for a bit, and plus I already done my test. Uraraka looks at Deku and asks him, are your hands okay? He looks at her and tells her, my hands hurt after tackling Ida. Ida tells him, well, that's reasonable, but you shouldn't have walked off like that. Deku looks at her and tells him, I'm sorry. Ida tells him, that's fine. Let's just walk you down to the nurse's office. Uraraka said, oh, I forgot to ask, what is your relationship to Bakugo? Deku looks at her and tells him, he reminds me of a childhood bully I used to have. Ida walks up to him and says, so is he your childhood bully? Deku looks at him and tells him, no. He had a different quirk. Besides, it's still the same feeling. Uraraka tells him, he can be your favorite rival. Deku says a rival is someone that wants you to go forward, that pushes you beyond your limit. When I look at him, the only thing I want to push is his skull into the pavement. Ida chimes in, saying I've been hearing it from Kaminari, saying that sometimes rivals in anime don't always be nice to each other at the beginning. Deku looks at him and tells him, so that's what it takes to be a rival? In that case, then I'd rather deal with Todoroki. Uraraka looks at Deku and asks, what do you mean? Deku tells him, I don't know, but I just have a feeling that Todoroki might need help with something. Ida basically asks Deku how you know he might need help with something. Deku says we're heroes, we're supposed to help. Besides, I can feel in my guts that he might need some help. Ida basically tells him, so you can tell someone needs help just by a gut feeling? Deku tells him there are multiple ways to tell if someone needs help, just by their body language and how they speak. For me, it's also my gut feeling too, so I check on all three. Uraraka chimes in and basically tells him that's a pretty good thing to learn. Hey Aizuno, is it possible you can teach me that? Izuku looks at her and tells her sure, but it's going to take me a while. Ida basically tells Deku, is it possible you can also teach me? Before Deku can say anything else, Ida basically tells him it is very important that heroes should know if someone's in danger if they're not able to say it. Deku looks at both of them and tells them it won't be easy, but I'll show you how. Ida tells him thanks. That's very helpful. Rocket says we're heroes, so if you have any hero tips, just let me know. Deku tells him whenever I find new hero tactics, I'll teach you. Everything else happens the same, but when All Might meets Deku in the nurse's office, he tells him you shouldn't have walked off like that. Deku tells him he needed to go to the nurse's office so he can get his hand checked. He could have said that he needed to blow off some steam, but that doesn't sound like a reasonable excuse to leave class. All Might tells him, I understand it, but you should let me know so I can notify the nurse so she can set up a bed for you so she can use her quirk on you. Deku looks at him and tells him, sure. We have reached the end of the day. Deku's done talking to All Might, and the nurse lets him go home. When Deku's walking down the hallway, Sasuke asks him, how much were you holding back? Deku asks, it depends. Are you talking about my strength or my killing intent? Deku responds to Sasuke, telling him both. I was holding back my strength a lot, and I was holding back the will to beat his head into the curve. Naruto asks, did you do the exact same thing with your jutsu? Deku tells him, well, he's still alive, isn't he? Naruto says, well, yeah. Also, before you put on your costume, you put a seal on yourself to block our chakra. Why is that? Before Deku can respond, Naruto walks up closer and tells him, were you trying to block our sight so he won't stop you? Deku tells him, no, why would I do that? I heard that they have a really good nurse here, so I decided to see how good her quirk is. Compared to your chakra, not that great. Naruto says, is that right, huh? Also, will you be healing your classmates if they ever get in trouble? Deku will tell him, of course I will. They're my friends, and plus, that's what a hero would do. Sasuke tells him, hold on, wait a minute. You're on thin ice because of the teachers around here. So you can't devour Naruto's chakra like that to heal yourself and others. Eventually, you're going to have to explain some of your other abilities as well. But keeping the illusion and the transformation will be a secret. Naruto chimes in, telling him, when are you going to explain how your quirk works? Deku looks at Sasuke and tells him, eventually I will explain some of my abilities. And as for you, Naruto, I'll explain whenever they ask me. Naruto will ask, well, how much will you explain to them? Deku will tell him, I'll explain enough so they won't get too suspicious. But not everything, so when something sketchy goes down, they won't point the blame at me. Sasuke tells him, good. Just in case anyone tries to jump the gun and point the blame at you. Naruto tells him, with your personal growth, you're reaching close to 5 tails. But when it comes to showing it off, just in case, you'll be showing only 1 tail to your classmate. When Deku gets outside, someone basically tells him, wait a minute. Deku turns around and sees that it's Uraraka and Ida. Uraraka asks him, are you taking the train station too? Deku tells him, yeah. Uraraka basically says, oh cool, we can ride the train together. But on their way riding on the train, Deku asks Ida and Uraraka how was the other fights. Uraraka basically said the other fights were actually interesting to watch. Deku asks, is there any fight that caught your interest? Uraraka basically tells him, yeah, the fight with Todoroki, but you can barely call it a fight since he just froze the whole building. Uraraka would ask Ida, between Aizuna and Todoroki, who do you think is stronger? Ida basically says, I do not condone any violence, but that would be interesting to know. Once Deku gets off the train, Aizawa basically texts him and asks, how was your day at class? I heard you walked out. Deku texts him saying that I'm going to have problems with the explosion boy. Before Aizawa could type back, Deku tells him I didn't walk out, I just escorted myself to the nurse's office. Aizawa tells him, just to let you know, I'm not going to pull any strings to help you out. Deku tells him, I'm not telling you to pull any strings or hinting at it. I'm telling you that if I have a problem and he ends up in the hospital, you'll know what happened. Aizawa would text back, try not to kill anyone. Hope you guys enjoy, and do you think Deku should be class president?